the project manager of CSU's M-Loan project. I want to take this opportunity to kind of go through some of the work that we've been doing in mobile in terms of kind of contextualizing what mobile actually is and what does it mean. So the first kind of step is that understanding that technology and in general is about being a tool. It's not a panacea to go and fix problems. It might be the tool to go and do it, but in itself, it's not actually kind of the solution. It might be the kind of tool to actually go through and deliver the solution, but in itself, it's not actually kind of providing any function. So really, when we're talking about this as a mobile technology as a tool, there are really three key components to understanding what can it do as a tool. So the first one is about connectivity. Most of the mobile devices are able to connect wirelessly to the internet. So that might be through Wi-Fi or over 3G networks. And that provides kind of an instantaneous connection to the outside world and all the information that lives online. So that's part of its kind of uniqueness. It's not tethered to a specific space. It actually connects us to the wider world in whatever context we actually are. So what this really does enable is this idea of anywhere, anytime connections, or everywhere, all the time. We're not kind of tethered, we're not limited. The space that we create is actually around the person and not the specific place or location, which is quite a big shift and might take some time to get your head around. But really that's what it does, is it removes the kind of spatial constraints to kind of make the classroom or the learning area, wherever we are, rather than it's in a specific defined location. The second kind of key component is portability. I think what this means is it's slightly different to connectivity in the fact that what portability actually provides is that it's a way for us to carry stuff. When we talk about our books, our music collections, the games, what we can actually do is cram all these things into a single device that we can actually carry in our pocket. And that's really, when we talk about having not just one song or one CD that we can carry around, but we can talk about 1,000. And it's the same with books and information, that we can carry around thousands of books in something that actually fits inside our pocket. And that's kind of frees us up. If we think about our school days with backpacks and textbooks and the kind of heavy load that we had to carry, what mobile does is kind of free us from that, the kind of physicality of having to lug information around with us. What we actually can do now is carry the information with us all the time, rather than have to pick and choose which ones we're going to carry that specific day. So this idea of portability of information. It also means that when there's not a connection, that we can still learn and we can still use material. So by downloading the information, we're actually, and being able to carry it around, we can actually go specifically to an offline location to use it and consume it, to interact with it. So if we think about our books, what we can do is download the content and then take it somewhere and isolate ourselves, but still come back and connect and upload the stuff that we've kind of consumed in that process. And the third one is about utility. And I think this is kind of slightly misunderstood in the fact that the devices themselves are quite agnostic. There is very little that you can actually do with a mobile device except surf the web, check your email, and maybe look at maps. They're kind of key functions that pretty much every mobile device will allow you to do. What actually comes through and the usefulness of mobile is through the portability and the connectivity, but also this idea of apps. And apps provide functionality to a mobile device. What it does is transform a very agnostic device into a very specific device. So we can see, when you've got a camera and you can able to adjust what the camera sees, we can build it so that we can provide a function specific to our discipline areas. So that's really where the function of mobile and one of those key potential arises, is this idea that we can actually add function to the device rather than it being a specific device that does one thing. I think that's a big shift in technology itself, in that quite often we were restricted to the hardware and what it could do. So a VCR could only play VHS tapes. It couldn't play beta tapes. But when we give a mobile and we provide functionality, then what we can do is say, well, this app will do this thing and another app will do another thing. and so that we can play VHS and we can play beta, but on the same device. We don't actually have to do it on separate things because the function actually comes through the software rather than the hardware itself. And what this does is create opportunity. And that's the kind of final bit of the puzzle, is that what mobile brings and what it changes is that it gives us this new opportunity to rethink and redo things the way that we have in the past. It opens up, new spaces for people to actually go in and learn, provides new ways of learning, provides new functionality through apps, and that's why mobile's getting such a big buzz, is because it actually shows and demonstrates a real opportunity to change, improve, and do things differently. I kind of wanted to say that while the device is fantastic and mobile technology is shifting, there needs to be a specific purpose built into this, to the device itself. Rolling out devices is very, it's a little bit overkill when you don't actually have a specific purpose, and users need to see a tangible benefit to it. So when we're talking about our students learning, they need to be able to understand that there is going to be benefit for them adopting new technology. And the same with you as academics, that there needs to be a purpose attached to the device. Like I said, the device themselves are quite agnostic. Like, they don't do a whole range of specific things. It's us that define the purpose that we're going to use it for and the context that we're going to use it for. So I think that's what you have to kind of come into mobile kind of already with an idea. And the picture there is success kid, if you know any of the internet memes. And really that's the key to success, is this idea of purpose, going in there with something predefined and ready to roll out. So that's it. I used the iPad to actually create the presentation using Haiku Deck, which allows you to kind of create these funky little presentations. But yeah, I hope that kind of enlightens the idea of mobile technology, and hopefully kind of answers a few questions, probably poses far more questions, but maybe we can catch up when we're at CSUEd together and you can put some of those questions to me. Thanks for your time.